Opponent types. Expert poker is all about the ability to adapt your game in order to maximize monetary results. Knowing what type of opponents you're dealing with and how to play them is key. There are many different types of poker players out there. When at the poker tables, you'll usually be able to put your opponents into one of these 5 main categories. The fish. Also affectionately known as calling stations, these players are easy to peg. They are too loose pre-flop, rarely raise, and are delightfully passive. These players are plentiful and will act as the main donators to you and your growing bankroll. Tips on playing the fish. You'll want to seek out the fish and play them as much as possible. If you're at a table with no fish, then it's probably time to leave. Also, when a fish enters the pot ahead of you, you may want to open up your pre-flop range and raise a few more hands in an effort to force others to fold and get the fish all to yourself, otherwise known as isolating. Fish will often give away the strength of their hand by betting impulsively and out of turn when they have an actual hand and passively checking and calling otherwise. Fish seem to have a hard time folding any hand until the river, so take advantage of value betting your good hands against them. Lastly, fish aren't usually big bluffers. If a fish is betting and raising, it's probably wise to give him credit for a legitimate hand unless you have good reason to believe otherwise. When possible, you'll want to sit to the left of the fish. The nit. Nits appear to have some slightly extreme tendencies. They are very tight pre-flop, playing only the hands at the top of their range. It's for this reason that they may appear to be overly aggressive at times. In actuality, they are playing aggressively because their hand is usually a premium one. Tips on playing the nit. These players are not donators like the fish, so don't expect to make too much money from them. Taking advantage of nits is easy, however, because they are easy to steal the blinds from, put on a hand, and bully out of a pot when they miss their draw. Unlike fish, nits can find a fold. When possible, you'll want to sit to the right of a nit. The Maniac. These are the Tasmanian devils at the table. Whatever their reason, crazy, drunk, or just having fun, these players are out of control. They are extremely loose and ridiculously aggressive. When these players are running hot, they can amass a ton of money in a given session, but for the most part, they are spewing their money away, one inflated pot at a time. Playing against a Maniac is a treat you will learn to savor, all the way to the bank. Tips on playing a Maniac. Just like a fish, you'll want to isolate a Maniac. But unlike a fish, a Maniac's aggression does not equate to a strong holding. He's just aggressive for aggression's sake. Since you know what he's going to do when it's his turn to act, he's going to bet or raise, take advantage of this knowledge and use his tactics against him. Be more inclined to call down this player with your mediocre made hands, which have a decent shot of winning against his range. Make sure you bet, raise, or re-raise with your stronger hands in order to maximize your winnings. The Rock. Solid, 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 hence the name. The Rock is the ABC poker player. Almost robotic in his predictability, The Rock is a good player but not an expert. The only trick up a Rock's sleeve is that he knows what he's doing. Almost. The fact that there is little adaptability and deception to their game makes them less profitable at the tables where they find themselves outclassed. A Rock can and will hold his own at a plethora of fishy tables, where his knowledge of the basics and handle on his emotions give him a decisive edge. Tips on playing the Rock. This player is not giving his money away. He's best to avoid getting involved with. The Expert. An expert player is able to adapt with the ebb and flow of any given poker game. They are quick to identify their opponent's leaks and weaknesses and exploit them fully. Expert players not only have a handle on every aspect of the game, but also a deep understanding. They are able to use this to their advantage on many levels, and if they use proper bankroll management and keep their egos in check, they are very, very wealthy poker players. Tips on playing the expert. Don't. Hopefully this video has given you a grip on all the game theory basics you'll need to go into your game with a huge advantage over the other players who have not had the benefit of such a tutorial. No matter which title you choose to move on to from here, we at PokerFishRakeback.com look forward to seeing you again soon and hopefully becoming the catalyst to your online poker success. Good luck at the tables.